Are you working from home, but you don't feel like you're in a productive routine yet? Are you working from home, but you feel like you don't stop working ever? Well, keep watching and listening to TalentSmith's Lunch and Learn live stream as I share with you 9 remote work hacks so that you can get your workspace at home productive. Mhm. Hello, everyone. Janet Smith here of TalentSmiths, and this is Lunch and Learn Live. Welcome. TalentSmiths is a place where we help organizations and professionals along the lines of HR, specifically compensation. We help organizations fill positions where they're needing HR individuals like you, or you. Lunch and Learn Live is a place where we help all professionals get on track, get back on track, learn a few tips and tricks along the way of their intentional career path. Every Thursday you can tune in on the live stream and you can watch us. You can get some tips for your intentional career path. All this month we're talking about productivity productive productivity in all different areas. So every week there's a different area. So let's get into those specifics for this week. Welcome to week 2 of being productive, specifically productive in the pandemic. This is the lineup of events that you see here. And if you've missed week 1, you want to watch that video. Mhm. And this is week 2 where we're talking about productive workspace. You can catch this lineup of events over on TalentSmith's Facebook business page so that you can see the schedule and you can determine which week you need to tune in on so that you can be productive in that area. Or you can just tune in to every week this month so that you can gather all the productivity tips. Mhm. Tune in and join in on the conversation all about being productive. And in week 2, we're talking about productive workspaces. So stay tuned to the end as I share with you a special bonus, which is a resume guide that's going to help you with your resume. Mhm. And also, I'm going to share with you how to get your very own Working to the Beat pullover hoodie so that as you are grooving in your workday, as we talked about in week 1, you can work to the beat of the productivity music that we shared. So let's talk about productive workspace, specifically in the pandemic. Do you have a space in your place, if you're working from home, that you feel is productive? Hmm? Are you working remotely? Are you working in the office? Or are you between jobs right now? Comment below and let me know what's your work situation. What is your work situation right now? This is week 2, and we're talking about productive workspace. So I want to know where your space is, and if you have a space where you feel like you're not in a routine yet, you don't feel like you have a routine, or you feel like you're working all the time. That's not a good feeling. You need some downtime. We all need some downtime. So, if this is you in the pandemic where you feel like you have to be productive, and it's stressing you out, you don't have to be productive in the pandemic. It's okay if you have downtime. You should have downtime. If you're one that does want to be productive, if you're one that does want to learn a skill or get some things done or take advantage of downtime that you might not otherwise have, then be intentional with your productivity. Be intentional with your productive time. I want to share that with you. I want to show you how to do that and how to have some better spaces or to have a better mindset about the space that you do have. hmm Yes, a better mindset about the space that you do have. And this is International Update Your Resume Month. Ah, this is a great month, right? It's a great month. Yes, just say yes. It is a great month. But if you find yourself currently between jobs, then you're in the right place right now because one, you can sport this shirt like I am, currently between jobs if that's where you find yourself. And you can get tips on how to update your resume. I have a digital download for you that's going to help you with that. It's International Update Your Resume Month after all. So I want to help you to update your resume if it's not already updated. But if it is already updated, these are some tips that you want to look at as well. Mhm. So let's look at those 9 remote workspace hacks. So I want to share with you some different ideas or mindsets to wrap your mind around if you are working from home so that you can have a better space. As number one says, designate a workspace, designate a space that is specific for your work and specific for your work while you're working remotely. You will be able to focus better if you have a designated space specifically for you. And when you're in your bedroom versus when you go into your workspace, you'll know that you're leaving your personal space and you're entering into a workspace, right? Correct. Cool. And you also want to optimize your workspace. You want to optimize your workspace so that it doesn't feel cluttered. Maybe your bedroom's cluttered, but your workspace doesn't have to be. Organize your workspace to keep it minimal so that you don't feel overwhelmed by yet another space in your house, if that's your case. If you're feeling overwhelmed by other spaces in your house, you don't want your workspace to feel that way as well. So optimize your workspace so that it's clutter free. Mhm. And if you have tips on how to organize your workspace with bins and such, comment and let everyone know about your tips. I have tips too, and I'll share those in the comments as well. I'm in the comments. And you want to stick to a set schedule, stick to a set routine, schedule a routine, set a schedule for yourself, even if you're working from home, so that you can be into the routine of your day when you get up and you prepare yourself for a work day. You want to continue that routine even if you're working from home because it will help you to transition from personal space to workspace. And the next one is you want to take regular breaks. Even if you're working from home, you still want to take regular breaks. Take a break and you get up and you move around. You take a break and you get up and you stretch. Take a break and you get up and you just get your eyes off of the computer just to do something different, to get your mind away from your work for a moment, right? So remember to take regular breaks, even if you are working from home. And remember to set your boundaries. Set your boundaries while you're working from home so that all of your family knows when work starts and when work ends, so that they're not knocking on the door or ringing your phone or coming over to your house just because you're home. Set boundaries and just let everyone know when you're working. They won't know unless you tell them. Set those boundaries and avoid procrastinating. That will help you to avoid being distracted by other things. There's so many things lurking around, in the house, in your house, that you could be doing other than work. So avoid distractions and avoid procrastinating and get those things done that you need to get done. And one of the things that you can do is you can turn off your phone, turn off your personal phone, turn off those push notifications on your phone so that you can focus and you won't have any squirrel moments where you are distracted by your phone. Mhm. And so be proactive with backups. Be proactive with your backup files. You are not working in if you're not working in an office, you're working on just your computer, your local computer. You might not have access to a larger server. So be proactive with backup files, whether you have an external hard drive, whether you're saving things to the cloud, be proactive with those backups just to ensure that if something happens to your power and you lose something or lose everything, you won't really lose everything because you have already backed up those files and saved those files. Just make sure that you save personal protected information in a protected space. Consult with your employer before doing that. Communicate with your coworkers. You want to always communicate with your coworkers. And you want to make sure that that communication stays as clear as possible without having those face to face interactions. Communication can sometimes be misunderstood. Mhm. So, if you have video calls, that's a better way for your message to come across the way you intended and to not be misconstrued into the way that you did not intend for it to come across. So I encourage you to do video calls when you can. It can reduce a lot of confusion that comes across in just a text or an email. And the last one you want to do is you want to avoid social distancing. Mhm. We're all social creatures. You can still be social. You can have physical distancing, but you don't have to have social distancing. So stay in touch with family, stay in touch with friends, stay in touch with your associates so that you don't get a feeling of being isolated, so you don't get a feeling of being distant, and you don't get a feeling of being lonely. You don't want to feel lonely or isolated even if you're working remotely or if you're working from home. So avoid social distancing, practice physical distancing instead. And remember to download the 7 resume mistakes that you don't want to make. That's going to help you with your resume. That's going to help you to get your career back on track. That's going to help you to keep your career on track. And that's going to help you to get your career on track. No matter what situation that you find yourself in, updating your resume, keeping it updated even if you're working right now, will always put you in a proactive, productive place. And if you stay ready, you won't have to get ready, right? Yes, that is true. You've got this. And if you're not already, you're going to be hired really soon. You've got this.